morning. So, what are we working with today? We have, and today's star of the show will be this. So, what is this? Well, as you can see there, Nintendo Entertainment System, NES version. It's old. I think the best way of phrasing it. Copyright 85. So, yep, copyright 85, the NES, 2 console ports on the front, power reset, cartridges go in there, slide them in, and that goes down. So it was down originally, so it just slides in and then push down. Really neat system, because that way you're not having to yank the cartridges in and out, and it saves the contacts. Whereas a lot of cartridge-based games going after the NES were all top load and they were friction fit, so you had to push the cartridge in. So keen-eyed will notice 2 RCA connectors here. So you've got video and audio, and then on the back that's where your power goes in, and that is actually an RF out. So that would wire into your TV using the aerial. So what I'm going to do is pop it over and open it up. So what is interesting about the NES is there was this cover on them which suggests that there was plans for an expansion that goes on the bottom, but I've never seen it. If you have, I'll be interested to know. And I just need to figure out what screws these need. Ooh. So that feels like it's totally wrong size. And let's go for something a bit more appropriate, like this one. If I can't get this one, we're off to a bad start. Nope, that's not playing nicely. There we go, got it. I will tell you in a minute what that screwdriver bit was. I've got it down as a +2. So it's a PH2 for anybody playing along. Oh. Looks like I can't get that one. So, we have a problem. I can't get a screwdriver in. And I can see how far down it's going, and it's not going up far enough. And it is that bit, the black piece of the screwdriver, that's stopping it. So, I may have to pause stream while I rethink. I got suspicion it's going to be the same all the way around. Let's try this one. Yeah, that's tight. And yeah, I don't think that's going anywhere near it. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, the whole thing binding. So why I could get that front one, I don't know. I'm just wind this one back in to see how far down it goes. Okay, so the front one is much shallower, which probably explains why. Yeah. So the back ones and the others are just too deep for the screwdriver to get, and I'm unfortunately starting to damage the console, which I don't want to do. So at the moment I can't get it open, which isn't a problem because I can just take, she says, some isopropyl, and I might be able to get in there. Let's try cotton wool bud without. See if I can reach. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. Yep, so I'm going to struggle. I really am. So we know that the thin-headed, what was supposed to be thin-headed, doesn't work or doesn't reach. I'm now going to grab some other screwdrivers. Hey! We have a lift off. So I know you can't see properly. You can see about as much as what I can. So this screwdriver is just a generic long shafted screwdriver, nothing special. And if I think back correctly, this actually came out of a screwdriver set made by a company called Rolson. So for those of you in the UK, certainly, you may recognise that brand name. It's basically as cheap as chips. And there we go. Ooh, it's dusty. It's very dusty. So just release these screws. Put my other bits out the road, so I don't need them now. I basically brought an entire toolbox with me. Right. Let's have a look, see how bad this is. I know I can see it's bad, but how bad is it? Yeah, this is going to be some cleaning. Right, So let's see if we can. So I'm just using a Q-tip just to try and clear some of the dust so I can see where the screws are. And a little bit of tension every now and again just to see what is actually binding where. So far, it looks like all the screws are the same length. Missed one. And there we go. So what I'm doing is putting all the screws inside the bits where they came from, so I can find them again. So far all I've done is taken the outside case off and the RF shield. So now we're left with this. Come on, you can focus. So I know the camera's not picking up very well, but just trust me, there's plenty of dust there. So what I'm going to use to help clean it. A drop of isopropyl. There might be enough in this bottle for this. Just remember, if ever using isopropyl, don't have any flames around. It's the quickest way of giving yourself some problems. So am I going to do a full tear down? Probably not today. I'm going to open it, well, now I've got it open, I'm going to clean it enough that surface and dust out inside is shifted, and majority of the contact areas are clean, and then depending on how it plays and how it behaves, I'll then consider doing another open and tear down clean on it. But all things considered, it is in very good condition. So I think, yeah, let's just keep using these for the minute. So it looks like wherever this has been in the past, somebody was a smoker. Which is not surprising, really. But what is nice to see is the capacitor there is still nice and flat. It's not showing any signs of bulging, discoloration or anything like that, which is a testament to the build quality of these. I think some of this is actually flux from when it was originally made. Now I know I could get a cloth or something. However, I don't want to leave any lintel behind, and I would rather spend a few extra minutes with a bud, a cotton bud, Q-tip, whatever you want to call them, just slowly working my way through this circuit board. It's thrilling watching, I know, but you know what? If it means it's clean, I don't care. So the ultimate question is, how much was this? Well, considering the times we live in, cost of living going up and all that good stuff, I managed to pick this up on eBay for a grand total of £60, which I thought was a pretty good bargain. I know some of you will be saying it's only a bargain if it works. Well, on these, assuming your power delivery is fine, there isn't much more to them. Most of it's kept in the cartridge. So that's that side of the board. Not clean, but wiped off. So all I'm doing is just trying to make sure that whatever's on here isn't going to cause me any problems in the future, or at least not until I've had a chance to do a full tear down on it. And there's a little bit of circuitry here, but there's not much in that corner. And to be fair, outside of the vent area, there's not much. So, right. So on the back of the cartridge area, you can see these fingers. These link in to this, and this is what the cartridge plugs into, and actually that is not lifting any muck whatsoever off that. There is nothing there. So whilst this has had some use, I don't think this cartridge has seen much action whatsoever. So a cartridge? I don't think this NES has seen much action over the years. Even the scratches on the side are coming off. And the ones that aren't, yeah. There's some scratches on the sides. Yep, okay, I'll give you that. But you know what? That is a fantastic result. So just bear with me a second. I'm going to use the industrial scale dust remover. Right. So verdict is almost wide as I open it. And for anybody who's not seen how these work, let's take a game that we've seen on the channel that doesn't work, which is good old Digger. Put that back up. So you slide your cartridge in from the front. It goes up against that, and then you click it down. So from this side, so there is some force there, but it's taking almost nothing to do that. So I am more than happy with the state of this to not tear it down any further, unless I can see anything obvious that is a problem. You know what? Curiosity's got me. I may regret this. So I'm just going to see if I can take this loader off and then see what that sort of shows me. So I've got a slightly different screw at last. So all I'm going to do is just have a quick look underneath, make sure there's no damage to anything, if I can see anything. And I can't, but that comes off, so inside the front of the case there's a board up here, and there's those two boards down there. Those are the controllers, that's for your power button and your reset, and that is it for in there. Keep those screws separate. So what have we got? So your top loader, it slides down and clicks in. And yep, I was right, that was the expansion option. I can't remember what that was used for, if anything. Okay, so looking at all of this, there is no damage. There is no cleaning needed. If I start trying to clean this, I'm going to start damaging it, so there's no point. And I suspect the same goes for bottom. Yeah, I am not going to clean this. No way. What I am going to do though is struggle to put it back together. That makes more sense, so you can go on. You can go on, and this is the blue one is the reset and power. You can go on. And this is where I realise I've made a boo-boo. So take these back off. Fit the shield and then put it back on again. Something's not lining up. When something doesn't line up, it usually means Claire's done an oopsie. There we go. So now that drops into there. Isn't it magic when it all lines up properly? It's almost like they made this to a cost, whilst also making it manageable to be serviced by whoever touches it. So let's get these screws back in and get started with the ones that I know are different, which are these silver ones. Before I send it flying, move the isopropyl. I'm going to give the outer case a quick wipe down with some buds and a few. So I need the rest of it, but yeah, this is an absolute dream. So there's two screws holding the metal case at the back. That metal case, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, that is the RF shield holder. But in there, there's also the AC to DC electronics. And I'm missing a screw hole. On what part I can't see it. There we go. So if ever you need to do any work on the AC to DC side on the NES, it's going to be in that metal can. Which is that there, which is what I spent a few trying to clean up. So I've got two more screws. Just noticed a little bit of muck. So let's just like that. To be honest, every PC will have more muck in it than what's actually on this at the minute, even compared to when I opened it. Every PC will have more inside it, unless you're meticulous and you either don't use your computer or you literally clean it every week. Now I know some people are like that, so crack on, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going for that level of cleanliness on this. I just want it to be safe to use and safe to play with. So now for the next part of the shielding. So this goes like that. So for anybody panicking about, I'll just put it on top of some contacts. It is actually cut out where the traces are, and it is only touching ground planes. So they've done well. It's a very nicely designed unit. And seeing as some of the circuit boards said 1987, this has stood the test of time very, very well. So the NES was originally designed in 1985. Released in 1985, and it was still being sold in the early 90s. Some of the games I've got were released in early 90s. Others were released in. Let's not do that, Claire. So others were released in 80s. I've got some games that so far haven't featured on a channel, so I'm not showing them off yet. But stay tuned and you will see them. It's looking like I'm going to have a screw left over for some reason, so I need to figure out where that's come from. So I don't know if it's one that's got mixed up, or I have missed something somewhere and I can't see anything. So I bet it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I see it. It was hiding. So trap for people right next to this here, which is a heatsink. Words hard. It's actually a screw hole, which is where that one goes. So even just running my finger over that, that's not too bad. There's a tiny bit of surface corrosion on it. I think it's corrosion. Yeah, there is a little bit of surface corrosion. Whoosh! I sent you guys flying. Let's move in a bit more as well. But in all seriousness, for a game console this old, you can't blame it for having a little bit of corrosion on big metal pieces. What I am going to do, don't judge. So literally just quick wipe with isopropyl, and that is all of it's picked up. So there's isopropyl on the tissue. I'm just wiping it, second wipe. Still some coming up, but I'm actually pushing on pretty hard as well. And final wipe down this bit. Yeah, I'm not going to lose sleep over that little bit. It might still be on there. I have better things in life to worry about than is that little piece there dusty. So what I'm going to do with this one, I've still got it, this being the tissue. I'm going to in this corner. Because there is some dust that's decided it wants to stay. And we don't do dust. Yeah, there's nothing in that. So let's put the outer case back on, shall we? That was boring. And even the outer case, on the inside of it, the lid is very good, and inside of that lid is also very good. No, you can't see it at the minute. There we go. Slightly discoloured. Suggests it was spent quite a bit of its life tilted up. But, oops, helps if I put the lid on the right way round. There we go. So let's get it tipped over, screw back together with the right screwdriver, and then I'm just going to go around just quickly cleaning off the top. Bear with me a second. That was a coffee, before anybody asks. Yes, I'm British. I don't drink tea. At least not normal tea. So the reason why it sounds like the screwdriver's slipping is I'm putting very little pressure on my fingers, just so it bites. Oh, you can see here, I can't actually, but I'm twisting the screwdriver with my fingers, but I'm barely holding the screwdriver in doing so. And as my fingers slip, the screwdriver's jumping. So it's actually jumping up rather than rounding the screws. And there we go. So that's a NES back together. Quick wipe down of these grills on top. No, I can't, because I can't get the Q-tip into them. So I can't actually get into these grills nicely. So I can't just tip isopropyl onto this, because if I do, it's going to go straight back into the unit. And since we've just cleaned it, I don't want that. So you can see there, it's picked up some bits. But really, it doesn't need much. Oops. There we go. It's in pretty good shape. There's a couple of bits that need a wipe down, but there's nothing where I would go, eek, I can't touch that, it's dirty. It was really like that before I started, so there we go. There's a few spots on top. So, what would I give this? I'd give this a solid 10 out of 10 for cleanliness, considering its age. You know, I've seen more scuffs on a brand new PC that's straight out of factory than what I've seen on this thing. So, final verdict on the NES. It's fantastic condition. I can't fault it for the £60, and quite frankly, if somebody said to me it was more than 60, like 100, for and known it was this condition, I'd buy it. Thank you very much.